Hey, here we go for another shot, episode 2 of my Edge of the Empire solitaire campaign. Which first episode was a little sketchy. I'm trying to get used to the way things work, and also kind of like acting in both the game master and the player role. But I kind of like the whole storytelling element here of it, and the way that kind of works. Sorry. So here we go. I've kind of updated the network a little bit. So here's Grok. I've been making use of Midjourney for a lot of this kind of stuff. So we've actually got a full Grok. There he goes. You know, the crime lord who, Jax Kellen, our intrepid hero, and captain of the Driftwood. He owes a lot of money to this guy. I've tried to. There's a few things I know that I kind of missed during the last session. One was updating some of the adventure list stuff here. So, threads list, I've kind of updated this a little bit, although I think actually I'm going to make some slight changes. One, I'm going to move Lauren Voss down, because I think actually as a characters list we need to put the Driftwood itself as a character. Just in case, I just kind of feel like it's an important part, and something that and something that could be affected by say NPC negative or positive kind of mythic elements. But we've kind of I've updated the threads list a little bit. So Jax is broke, down on his luck now at this point. All he has is his ship, his little best friend, 40 fuel cells on board, and not even any credits left. No credits whatsoever to even pay for his docking fees. So that's a potential problem there. I just noticed something here that I'm going to just need to try to fix, and I think we need to try to keep this on top. How do we do that again? I'm going to pause the recording a second here while I try to figure this out. Unpause. There we go. Now it should stay on top. That shouldn't be an issue now. I had to do a quick Google how to keep zoom on top here, so that I guess I'm always a part of this horror show. So anyway, so what did we get last time here? So I'm going to just open up, change things a little bit to our sessions here. So we have episode number 1 of the Narshada job. Today, of course, is episode 2. Probably just continuing the Narshada job. Narshada. And I'm going to just kind of copy a few things here. I like to keep track of what in the world's going on with my campaigns and my basically I like to keep track of everything. I'm kind of a little anal when it comes to that. So we're going to be moving forward here to scene 2, which I think is going to take place on the Driftwood. So in our introduction here, in our first scene, Jax and Kay have set down, taken the docking bay on the moon of Narshada, a giant city moon, basically, kind of like similar to Coruscant, but at a much smaller scale, and also a much nastier kind of like higher level pollution, disgusting kind of scale. It's basically like skyscrapers and pollution. The pollution is so thick that that Jack spent the last of his credits just purchasing a rebreather with a small oxygen tank, something just to keep him just to keep him so he could breathe properly on this planet. It's so bad. He found his way to the Black Nova Cantina to look up information regarding the wanted wanted information he got over his data pad. Basically, they're looking for a smuggler to deliver some discreet cargo to some undisclosed location in the Outer Rim. Again, currently, technically speaking, oops, sorry, that's I don't need RPG Geek open. Technically speaking, we are in hut space. I'm going to move this for a second because I really kind of need my little zoom options. So we're in hut space here, right? So this is where we are. Nar Shaddaa kind of is the moon of Nal Hutta, the main planet in hut space. So I mean, I guess kind of I've read a couple other things that suggest it's in the Outer Rim. So technically this is the Outer Rim, but not in the sense that it's controlled in any way whatsoever by the Galactic Empire. Zoom out a little bit here. Put this back. This may move around a little bit as we kind of go along. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to set this up. I'm not exactly a professional. Well, I'm not anywhere near a professional actor or voice actor or anything. I'm not even a videographer. Although I've ended up in that role a couple of times, I don't know how. But anyway, I digress. Jax and Kay have made it to Nar Shaddaa in the hopes of finding some work based on this data pad breach. They owe Gruck, a crime lord, Trandoshan crime lord, 50,000 credits. I should say Jax does. Kay's along for the ride, and he's so broke. He's looking for ways just to try to get anything. He needs some cash, and right now he's possibly even stuck on Nar Shaddaa because he does not have the money at all to even pay for his docking fees. They're likely to just kind of keep him. Alright, I'm just going to kind of update things just a touch more. Actually, that doesn't need to be bold necessarily. So, our obligation roll at the end suggested that no, there was not going to be any concerns. Actually, just take that out because we know that's going to be basically the information for that up here. So his obligations are not coming up this time again. Jax has 2 obligations, 10 points apiece. He owes a debt of 50,000 credits to a crime lord. That'd be Gruck, and Gruck is not a happy person. He's gonna take Jax's ship if he has to, but Jax also has a very strong sense of responsibility over his first mate, co-pilot. Really doesn't have much of a role on the ship. Just somebody who's kind of been tagging along with Jax for some time now, since Jax rescued her. He calls her Kay. She's an Ewok. So some kind of poor. Some kind of unfortunate circumstance that happened on Dantooine a few months back. So I did forget that I have in recorded experience. So if I go over here, I should actually find that I have available XP at 2 now. I really love this character sheet. It's kind of cool. Very handy anyway. So at the moment we find Jax. He's just left the Black Nova Cantina. He is not happy with his experience. He and Lauren Voss, the Twi'lek there, who basically said, "Get the hell out of here. I'm not helping you." And Lauren whoever was going to be behind bar that day was the only real chance of him getting any information about this job. So he's kind of screwed at the moment. So he's leaving the Black Nova. Almost forgets to put his respirator or his rebreather back on as he exits the cantina. Gets out, sniffs the pollution and garbage in the air, and fishes out the rebreather and attaches it to his face. Make sure to turn on the proper air. And as far as I'm kind of concerned, he's going back to the ship to kind of vent to Kay and try to figure out his next steps. So I don't really have much of a plan here. So what we're going to be doing here, I'll come up with a name for these episodes as I go along here. I don't know, I find it Interesting. So the scene 2, the driftwood. So the first thing we're going to do... Oh, the other thing I should note is I didn't even think to do this before, but on our adventure sheet, I increased the current chaos factor to 6. Jax was definitely not in control of that last scene. So I feel the chaos cat factor has to increase a little bit. So before we kind of head into the next scene, we're going to just do a quick roll. I need a D10. So now I got my little dice tray here. Got my little dice tray here. Actually, I picked up that. This is really kind of wonky here, but I picked up that dice tower there for when I was running a 50 Fathoms games a few years ago. But it's going to kind of work out because I can kind of put the dice in here and with the tower just beside. So roll a D10. That's a 3. Okay, that's good. So things are going to continue on. So he is going to arrive at the driftwood. And while we're at it, we might as well just kind of jump over to the driftwood. Jax comes storming in, not happy at all, rather relatively pissed right off that he had to deal with Lauren. Lauren accused him of, well, we learned a little bit about Jax last session. Jax is the reason he owes money to Gruck seems to be some, well, as Jax would say, a misunderstanding. But as apparently the rumors in the underworld suggest, Jax ripped Gruck off. He stole a lot. He stole something, or money, or whatever. He stole something from Gruck. Gruck's mad. And it isn't helping Jax's reputation at all in this respect. So here we go. Jax is returning to the... He returns to his ship. Kind of comes in comes up the ramp, slaps the button on the side panel there for the ramp to retract. As he's coming on board, he's going, "Oh, King, God, look, where are you?" Finds Kay, feet up in the cockpit, and just snoring. Down. He's kind of been ranting and raving as been walking through the driftwood, but as he gets to the cockpit and finds his cute little friend kind of lightly snoring, he decides no, it's right. But he knows he still needs to find something to do here. He needs to find work. Jax is going to check his data pad again. Based on our fate checks, is there another job coming out of Nar Shaddaa that he could potentially get? So our fate chart, considering where he is, I'm going to say it's likely. So our fate chart, we're now at 6. We're going to roll our dice. 25. Yes, there is. Absolutely are more jobs. So I'm going to pull up my ChatGPT here. We're going to jump right into the edge of the Empire one. Create. Hello, there we go. Come on. Create an alternate job, smuggling job, on starting from Nar Shaddaa. Anyway, so okay, for some reason it wants to keep trying to tell a story here. So it's trying to send me to the red light district by the looks of it, with a holographic okay, stop. There we go. Holographic advertisement above a rundown storefront with a mysterious figure in the hologram. Interesting. Seeking a skilled smuggler for a discreet and time-sensitive job. High rewards offered for those who can deliver a cargo to the abandoned mining outpost on the moon of Vora Prime. Inquire within. So this is, I'm going to say Jax pulls this up instead on his data pad. And I'll just kind of copy that to keep that. And we'll paste that in here. Oops, how did I'm hitting too much of a rush hitting for things. There we go. Alright. Seeking a skilled smuggler for a discreet and time-sensitive job. High rewards offered for those who can deliver a cargo to the abandoned mining post on the moon of Vora Prime. We're going to take out the rest of it. Jax is currently in the cockpit looking at his data pad, and this is what comes up. Once again, for the Oracle again, is the contact for this, once again, in the Black Nova Cantina. I'm going to say it's very likely. That seems to be a place that, that is used heavily for recruiting people like Jax. 62 is absolutely, yes, definitely. Unfortunately, it's also, has a, its contact point is also in the Black Nova. Alright, Jax just throws up his hands, tosses the data pad onto the dashboard. I'm going to call it dashboard. Dashboard kind of in the cockpit, at which point Kay kind of startles. You know, she's got her feet up a little bit, just barely kind of on the yoke for the co-pilot seat. Power! Kind of almost falls off the chair and looks up, and she kind of gives Jack a little bit of a concerned look, and he goes, sorry, Kay. My apologies. Look, I'm trying to get us some work, and it's not going so well. I might have to see if I can call in some favors or something. I don't even know if I've got anybody to call in favors for. Does Jax have anybody to call in favors for? I'm going to suggest that this is probably unlikely. Same thing. Chaos factor 6. 63. No. No, Jax does not have anybody that he can call in a favor with. He's kind of in a rough spot. Jax size. All right, Kay. This may not be our best spot. We may have to get out of here, but we gotta get some cash just to pay the, well, just to pay so we can take off. Otherwise, they're just gonna lock clamps on our ship, and we're not going anywhere. We're gonna get stuck here. We need to pay for the docking bay fees, and I'm just kind of checking out my operational costs here because this is a grade 3. There we go, grade 3 port. So it's 50 credits a day. That's what it's going to cost. This is the only day that we've been here. This is going to cost us 50 credits just to get out of here. Jax has got nothing. What's he gonna do? He like looks around. He's like, he can sell his blaster, but what the hell is he gonna protect himself with? He looks at Kay. She's not really wearing. She doesn't really have much of value. She's got a spear and like a necklace of bones. Jax has never really asked much about that. He's not even sure. They kind of look like they might even be. Some of them might even be humanoid bones, kind of on this necklace. So he just doesn't really ask too many questions. What's he gonna do? There's always someone who needs to travel discreetly, right? Jax goes, Kay, what do you think about some company? Yeah, it's me not too thrilled with it either, but we may need to take on some passengers. There's always somebody that needs transport off this rock. I'm gonna go take a look around. I'm gonna see if we can get get somebody interested in flying with us. Might be the only way out of here. The Black Nova's just not working for us right now. As long as Lauren is over there, we're not getting any work there. So there we go. So we have some good ideas here. I kind of like this. So I'm just going to scroll back. I was messing around with a few things here earlier, just trying to come up with some other ideas. I also had ChatGPT give me some important locations. Okay, so here's some important locations on Nar Shaddaa. So we got the Black Nova Cantina. Cool. We've been there. It just shut us right down. We got Gundark's Gear Emporium. So this is a big black market for weapons, gadgets, illegal goods. Awesome. We got the Shadow Market, which is an underground marketplace where pretty much anything can be bought or sold. That sounds really sketchy. The Red Light Sector, district known for its dens of vice and debauchery. It's a hive of scum and villainy. Yeah, so where anything goes and the law turns a blind eye. I don't know how much law there really is on Nar Shaddaa and in Hutta Town here. The Duro Sector, so known... Ooh, numerous shipyards, scrapyards, and repair shops. Interesting. The Slum Districts, we're not going to find any work there. The Wheel is a space station and a popular stopover for travelers kind of coming and going. So it's a space station. So that means it's above us. So I'm not going to get to that. And then there's the Cartel Enclave. So the Hutt crime lords, you know, obviously have a significant presence here. But this place is not us. It's like palaces and facilities for the Hutts themselves. We're not going there. But we're thinking maybe maybe Gundark's Gear Emporium or the Shadow Market are the places to go. Maybe somebody needs to get off planet. You know, and chances are, again, we know for a fact Jax has been here before. He'd have some contacts. Hopefully not all of them are going to hate him as much as Lauren does. So we're going to kind of... Oops, sorry. We're going to kind of end scene 2 right there. Okay. And we're going to move on to scene 3. What sounds more interesting? Gundark's Gear Emporium or the Shadow Market? Let's kind of flip a coin here. So 1d10, 1 to 5 is Gundark's, otherwise Shadow Market. 4, we're going to go to Gundark's Gear Emporium. So we're going to put that into seeking work. Actually, we can do this. So we can go, what was the point of this one? Complaining to K. Looking for work. Which did not work out so well. Okay. I don't know what the hell. Oops. What happened there? Seeking work in Gundark's Emporium. Cool. So we wrap up scene 2. Great. Okay. We're going to come back to our threads list here. Nothing has really changed. Kay, Gruck, Driftwood, Lauren Voss, and our threads list really hasn't changed. Paying Gruck back, and we need to get a job on Nar Shaddaa. One thing I'm going to bring up here that I thought about is that our light side, our destiny pool, because my sessions here are so short, I don't think that I should be rolling destiny at the beginning of each one. So right now there's a dark side point. I'm thinking maybe every few sessions, or I'll even just consult the oracle maybe here and there to ask whether it's appropriate to roll, and I'll just consider it I'll just consider it a 50-50 kind of chance. So here and there I'll just kind of consider whether I should ask the oracle, whether I should re-roll the destiny pool and kind of start it from scratch. But I'm also cool with it just kind of staying like this. So, however, one more thing to kind of deal with. I didn't really feel there was much change in scene 2. So I don't think the chaos factor needs to shift. It didn't get out of control. He kind of only had control of the scene in respect to that this is kind of more of like a mid-scene type of thing where, you know, he just kind of stops off to complain to Kay looking for work, and then makes a decision. So I'm thinking I'm just going to leave the chaos factor where it is. And we're just going to pause for a quick second here. And be right back. Okay, there. Well, I was just kind of taking a quick break here. I also noticed I couldn't spell worth a damn yesterday, so I'm kind of fixing a couple things here. Twee-like versus Twee-like. Gundarks. Alright. New scene. Roll for chaos factor. Or sorry, roll for potential scene interrupt or alternate. That is at 2. Things are going to go off as normal. So scene 3 is going to take place in Gundark's. Sorry, what was it called again? Gundark's Gear Emporium. Alright. Let's go back to ChatGPT here for a second. What do we know about Gundarks? Tell me about Gundark's Gear Emporium. So what do we know here? Okay, we got lots of information coming up here. Ooh, looks like we got an owner. Alright, let's just scroll back a bit. That's a lot of info. I'm not sure whether ChatGPT is creating this or whether it's pulled information from elsewhere. Alright, so we got a hub of weaponry, equipment, gadgets, illicit goods, you name it. So as Jax is arriving towards Gundark's, got his rebreather on. This is kind of situated within one of Nar Shaddai's bustling districts. There's lots of people around. People are kind of worried about themselves more than, you know, who's around them. So, you know, as Jax is kind of making his way through, you know, people are kind of, you know, bouncing into him, elbowing him and, you know, shouldering him out of the way as they're kind of pushing through. It's a busy street. The Emporium itself is a multi-level building with an exterior adorned with flickering holographic signs advertising a wide range of products. So there you go. You got like a Wookiee, you know, hologram, holding up the latest and greatest bowcaster. You know, and then it disappears, and another holographic image pops up with a soldier with a blaster rifle, and you see him squeeze the trigger, and the hologram goes bright and flashy, and then Jack stops paying attention. He's not really looking at weaponry at the moment. He needs a job. Neon lights are casting this glow around the area, kind of, you know, some of which is the haze of the smog that's bouncing off, or, you know, kind of reflecting off of the Emporium itself. As he walks through the front door, he kind of, you know, just misses somebody else, all kind of huddled down with a hood pulled over their head, who just kind of muscles through. And Jack steps into the Emporium. The interior, he's been here before. Dimly lit corridors and cramped rooms. It's kind of like, almost like a really extremely sketchy looking, you know, like a flea market kind of thing, but with, you know, everybody having their own separate rooms to do whatever. So it's a whole bunch of little vendors, some of which come and go regularly. Everybody's a little fly by night. There's some that have been there for a long time, and others that, not, you know, they're brand new to Gundark's. Jax takes a look around. Yeah, so he walks by one where there's a small fuzzy alien, you know, with a mohawk, with a big ass assault rifle, you know, with him, and trying to show it to a large, you know, purple alien standing in front of him. Guy looks like he could, like, you know, punch a hole through a wall. And the little tiny alien hands the assault rifle up, and the big guy takes it, checks it out, and Jax continues on. So we have some information here that the proprietor of Gundark's is a Rhodian named Vexking. He is known to have serious knowledge of weaponry and has a keen eye for sourcing rare and valuable items. Cool. He's professional, but he's cautious and discreet to avoid attracting unnecessary attention from law enforcement or rival criminal factions. So I'm kind of seeing this as Vexk. Let's go with that. You know, kind of tries to keep on everybody's good side. So he's assisted by a small but dedicated staff that includes some droids. Gundark's employees are skilled in navigating the complex network of deals and negotiations that take place within the Emporium. So yeah, it's kind of like it's his business, but there's a lot of other things going on in there, and he's probably taking a cut out of any deal that goes down in there. So it's not just a marketplace; it's also a hub of information and connections. Okay. Awesome, cool, good, and there you go. The Emporium is also a potential source of plot hooks and missions. Awesome, great. All right, we need a passenger. We need something. Fate chart. Jax goes looking around. Does Jax find Vexk? Now we're calling that a likely because he's probably around. 45 is going to be a yes. So he's going to find Vexk. I'm actually going to just take this. What did I just do? There we go. Wrong thing. Proprietor of Gundark's Gear Emporium. Let's just make sure we note that he's a Rodian here. Alright, what do we know about Vexk? Why don't we go to the NPC chart here? Or the Un. So we know he is... Actually, you know what? I don't even know if we necessarily need that. Let's just roll for interest, because we know he's professional, we know he's shrewd. But let's see if there's any other particular modifiers we can throw on there. 30. Habitual. He's got OCD. There you go. Habitual. OCD-ish. Shrewd businessman. Alright, my typing is terrible today, as it was probably yesterday. I'm trying to type too fast while doing too many things at once. Professional. There we go. There's Vexed. Vexk. Let's just call him Vex. The K could be silent. Or perhaps it's just something that humans can't pronounce properly, but Rodians absolutely probably can. Alright. After a little bit of time searching through the Gundark's Gear Emporium, Jack's finally he's not having any luck. You know, he's gone through a couple of levels before he finally kind of gives up just trying to spot Vex, you know, out and about. Instead, he heads directly to the office. Alright. Up on the top floor, Vex has his suite of offices, where his he has his executive secretary, or should that be executive assistant in this case? Probably assistant. Someone to do some of the work for him, but probably also tough enough that they're not just an executive assistant. They're probably also a bodyguard. So I kind of like that. So let's create his executive assistant. So let's start with just a roll on the NPC modifier. In Un, 50. He's conservative. I think whoever it is, he's dressed in a suit. But just to be really funny, he's I don't want to go Wookiee. Wookiee doesn't make sense, but Gamorrean, they're too dumb. What's Oh, I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. I just need my Edge of the Empire book for a second. That's not helpful. Going to need another really quick break here. I'm just going to pause once again here. Alright, so I got to figure out what I was trying to think of. I just couldn't think of the race name at the moment. So he's a Lasat. So if you watch Star Wars Rebels, the big purple guy, he's a Lasat. He's big, strong, but he's dressed in a suit. He's, you know, and he's relatively polite. We needed a Lasat name. Generate a name for a male Lasat. Zurich Brask. I like it. Thanks, ChatGPT. You're awesome. Zurich Lasat and quote-unquote executive assistant. Let's put he'd bodyguard. So as Jax kind of comes to the main office, he opens the door, and seated behind a desk facing him in a nice, well-kept, you know, like it is an area that just kind of is the complete antithesis of most of the rest of the building and most of the rest of Nar Shaddaa. It's well kept. It looks like a sitting room that could be on Coruscant in a wealthy, you know, rich, in a wealthy noble's home or office in one of the office buildings there or something. And it's nice. There's, you know, white leathery kind of chairs to sit in that look kind of comfy and big and plushy place to sit. There's a series of data pads resting, but that look like they're kind of showing the latest, you know, Soldier of Fortune style, you know, magazine from Star Wars, you know, Stormtrooper of Fortune. There's that, and there's, you know, there's a couple of historic ancient rifles on the wall. On one wall there's, you know, a pair of crossed lightsaber hilts. They're of course not activated, but they're there, and they're behind glass, probably glass steel kind of thing. You know, they're protected. Nar Shaddaa is known for kind of having a few Jedi artifacts that, you know, people like Vexking might be able to, might collect or even deal in. And seated behind a desk, tapping away on his computer, well, he's like, you know, is Zurich Brask. Jax has definitely come in contact with this guy before, but let's see here, does Zurich Brask like Jask? I'm gonna give it a 50-50. Maybe he buys into some of the rumors, maybe not, and maybe things have gone well. So I'm just gonna roll. That's 20. That's the third tens number in a row. So 20. Chaos factor 6 is going to be yes. He likes Jask. He likes Jax. I'm going to make a note of that. As Jax walks in, Zurich stops typing, looks up. Jax! It has been a long time. What brings you to Nar Shaddaa? Jax looks over. I don't really see Jax wearing glasses, but I just automatically touch my glasses. Jax looks over. He's like, "Hey, Zurich. It's good to see you. I'm kind of a little. I was hoping to speak to Vex. So is Vex in? Vex is he in? 50-50. Things are not looking good today for Jax, because Zurich looks over and is like, not in today. He's out on business, Jax. Is there something else I can help you with? Damn it. Look, Zurich. I came here to try to get a job. There was a posting, but of course everything runs through the Black Nova, and Lauren is there. Ugh. That Twi'lek has got more problems than, well, than Vex. but most of his problems are just that he's surly and unlikable. Yeah, I know, but he's not going to be any help to me. I've got nothing to go on here. I've got no work. I've spent the last credits on this thing, which he's already taken the rest of the rebreather off. He doesn't need it inside. So I already spent the last my last credits on this thing. Can you help me help, sir? Man, like, I can't. I've got nothing to go on. I've got no jobs. Kay and I are gonna get stuck here because I can't even pay for my docking fees. They're not gonna let me take off without settling my bill. So, does Zurich know of a job? I'm gonna say Zurich is fairly well informed, so it's gonna be very likely. On a chaos factor of 6, very likely. 85 or under. 80, Jesus. 80. Absolutely. Zurich stops and goes, yeah, I do know of something. We got some work that we can use. We got a buyer. So let's go with this. So let's just think about this. So Zurich knows that Vexking has got a job. I gotta make a note. For moving product off planet to... Let's just try using ChatGPT. Choose a planet in the Outer Rim. Tatooine. Everything happens on goddamn Tatooine. Alright, fine. Let's go with that. Tatooine. To Tatooine. Alright. Yeah, Jax. We got some product we need to move. Dude, we can hire. I'm sure Vex will have no problems with it. I'll put in a good word for you. Oh, that'd be awesome, Zurich. I really kind of need the work. So what do you got? All right, so let's see here. So what is Vexking moving? So let's keep going with this with ChatGPT. What kind of product does Vexking need smuggled to Tatooine? Sorry, you know what? It's not even necessarily smuggled. Delivered to Tatooine. He doesn't necessarily need it smuggled because Tatooine's kind of Outer Rim. Alright, so what do we got? Kyber crystals. Where the fuck did he get sorry. Where the hell did he get Kyber crystals? So, Jax doesn't know this yet. Just gonna pop back here. Jax doesn't know this, what he's gonna be transporting. Zurich probably does. Kyber crystals are really rare, really expensive. I'm going to need to do some calculations, I'm sure, after this here. So, no problem. So, we got a job for you. As soon as Vex comes back, don't stray too far from your data pad. Yeah, no problem, Zurich. Hope you like sand. And so with that, scene 3 kind of ends with Jax leaving and returning to the driftwood. So it returns to the driftwood. She's to wait for Vex to call. Alright. So there we go. Yeah, that's doing alright here. I'm kind of finding this whole solitaire thing really interesting, but it's also really hard on the brain a little bit because you're constantly thinking. You gotta play game master role, and you've gotta play the role of the player. So I think this is almost 45 minutes of video time here. So I think I'm gonna kind of wrap things up. So we're gonna award Jax another 2 XP for here, and we're gonna make an obligation roll for next time. So 20 or under. 94. So 94, nothing for obligation. Scene 3 is definitely going to... Sorry, scene 4. Definitely going to be that chat with Vexking. something like that. So, alright, so I'm going to kind of call things right. Ooh, sorry, no, you know what? We got one more thing to do here. Let's pop over here. So, we have a new character we're going to be adding, or a couple new characters, actually. So, let me just pop back here for a second. So, we've got Vex on, he's not in the scene, and we have Zurich Brass. Alright, we'll just call him Zurich. Actually, let's just do this. We'll take Vex out of there. We got Zurich Brass, the SAT assistant. And there we go. Chaos Factor. I think, actually, I'm going to say that we kind of had a good bit of control over that son. So we're going to be back in that. We're going to turn that to Chaos Factor 5 for next time. And I think that's a good place to end it for now. Alright, if you are watching, if anyone ever is watching this besides myself, thanks for watching, and have a good one. May the Force be with you.